For any new mum or mum-to-be, we hear a lot about looking after our little ones, but what about looking after ourselves? This masterclass is designed to help equip you with the tools to look after you through pregnancy, birth and beyond. We have obstetrician and gynaecologist Dr. Minky Burke here, as well as Dawn from Roo Spotting and Beth, aka Baby Mac. Ladies, 8 births between you. I'll make us number 9, you'll make us number 10.
Yikes.
And hundreds more for you, Minky, professionally. Just how important is parental wellbeing?
Without parents that feel good and feel happy, you can't look after a baby. So it is very important. So don't fall into the culprit of doing lots of household chores when your baby's asleep during the day. So just sleep, let your body rest and heal. Take pain relief if you need to, so you feel better as well. Sleep deprivation, being up all hours during the night, it may actually wear you down mentally. So that is something that you need to talk to your partner about, or maybe get help, but also feeling that you may not always know what you're doing, or that's okay too. And sometimes women struggle with the responsibility of having a new baby. That is quite a significant responsibility. So just be nice to yourself and be patient, and you will get there.
Dawn, tell me about your experience with motherhood the first time around.
Sure. The first time around, my experience was, it was a complete shock. I was not prepared for the shift in identity, and I didn't know how to take care of my daughter. I thought I would just know. I thought it would be just one of these instinctual things, but I felt so clueless. And then I felt bad about myself for feeling like I didn't have all the information. I'd struggled with postnatal depression, but I had previously thought that that was a bonding issue. I didn't have any trouble bonding with my daughter, which was lucky, but I struggled to leave the house. I felt really anxious, which was really what alerted me to the issue. And I think I waited a little bit too long to get help, because I'd have a good day and then I'd think things were turning around. But eventually I did get help, and going to therapy was really important in my recovery.
Minky, Dawn's story is not uncommon by any stretch of the imagination. We hear these terms postnatal, perinatal, antenatal depression. Can you explain to us what that actually means?
Pregnancy is a big time of change. So women need to get comfortable with the in a way, the burden sometimes, or the responsibility of looking after a little baby. They may have been working full-time, things change, their body is changing, their relationship is changing, and all of these things play a role. And most women are very anxious about, is their baby going to be healthy? Am I able to look after a baby? Am I able to be, am I doing it right? And this responsibility that when you have a little baby, everything needs to be okay, everything is beautiful, everything is easy and only enjoyable. And that's not always the case. It's very hard work, and you feel sometimes isolated. And when things are hard, and when you do struggle, you feel like you can't call out for help because it's supposed to be a particular way. So in preparation, I think it's important in your pregnancy to be screened. So how anxious are you, or do you have any feelings that you may not enjoy things as they are? Later in the pregnancy, you can check for that again. So if women are scoring particularly high, you can already put certain things in place. So get help early, be very proactive about that. And don't be afraid to ask for help, because I think that's important. And then when your baby is born, when you come back and see the obstetrician or the midwife at 6 weeks, it should be screened for again. And we know when women are struggling, women are honest, and I think sometimes when they don't feel like they can actually share that, you have to prompt and ask a little bit deeper. Now tell me, you can be honest here, I'm not judging you, I'd like you to know that you can tell me how you feel, and I think that's really important.
Beth, we hear a lot about having a good support system and having a good relationship with your partner or with the people around you. What's your experience been with that?
Look, it's different with every pregnancy too. I think like with my husband, with the first two, you know how you hear about these pregnancies where people are like gagging for sex, and you go, that's a made up thing, that cannot be real. And my first two pregnancies were like that, and then I had it with my third, and I was like a horny teenage boy, and it was like shocking and also very enjoyable for my husband. So he would say that it was much better the third time around. But I think you've just got to be really open and be honest with each other. And it's that, like Dawn was saying, it's just once you've had that baby, it is shocking how much you don't feel like yourself. And no one kind of talks about that bit of it because the delivery's over and it's like no one really cares. You know, the whole pregnancy, everyone's asking, how are you? How are you feeling? It's just not about you anymore. For me personally, that complete shift, I just lost my compass of feeling like I knew what I was doing. I was out of my depth. So I struggled in that way too. And talking with your partner about how you're feeling is really important.
We've had a question come through asking, I've got a really good support network, but I'm really struggling to ask for the things that I really need, not what they think I need. Have you got any advice for her as how do you let people know this is what would be most helpful for me today?
Oh God, I think you've just got to be really practical and just say, this is what I need. I don't really need another lasagna. I need you to come with me and go for a walk and talk about anything that's not baby related.
Or hold the baby while I sleep.
Yeah.
Sorry, I really need to take a nap.
Yeah.
You just have to be honest with yourself and with other people. Otherwise, you won't get the help and support that you so desperately need in that time.
Yeah, it's hard at first though because you feel like you're meant to just be getting on with it, and so you want to, thanks for the flowers, that's really helpful, but gee, I'd love it if you let me have a shower.
So Minky, what then do friends and family need to know?
Friends and family can't guess what you need, so you just have to basically be honest and don't be afraid to speak up. I mean, sometimes you don't know what you want and then you can sort it out, but you tell them what they need and they'll be very happy to help.
Let's talk about pregnancy for a sec because we know how critical that time is for bub, but also for looking after ourselves. Where do people tend to drop the ball? What do we need to know about looking after ourselves during pregnancy?
So pregnancy is not for nothing 9 months, so there's a lot of changes there. So you will have to learn to not just having a baby, but becoming a mum and the responsibilities and the changes that come with it. So women initially are quite anxious about, will their baby be fine? Am I doing it right? Is my baby growing and developing okay? And then they feel the responsibility of becoming a mum and having that responsibility there. So when you are going through the pregnancy, and I think as a caregiver, I do check on women and see if there are any issues, or whether it comes to starting exercise, becoming fit and staying strong. I think that's really important. And women need to develop that time to themselves. So if they create the me time in the pregnancy, whether that is the exercise or whether that is that they can go for a walk or do something that they want to do, then it's easier to carry it along after the baby's there. So all of those changes gradually make them in the pregnancy, and that will allow them to feel confident and still, feel good about themselves when they have had the baby, and that will make them a better mum and a better partner.
Ladies, what about post-birth? It's such a huge time of change, having a baby. How do you best look after yourself once bub's there with you?
I think that rest is really important and something that you should prioritise. And I know it's harder the further, with my third, I've got 2 kids, I've still got to keep going on. So you've got to allow yourself that time to rest and recover because you've gone through not only just the birth, but the 9 months before it, your body has gone up, in, out, up, around, prodded. You've just got to give yourself that rest. And like Minky said, be kind to yourself. Don't put any expectations and try and enjoy the baby, because that enjoyment time is the slowing down, and you just, make that your focus. It's a beautiful time.
Yes, I'd say also take a break when you can. If someone offers to help or watch the baby, even if you only get out of the house to go for a walk alone, I think that's one thing that we really lose when we become mothers is you have no time alone, no privacy, no time to yourself. But even just to clear your head for a few moments can really help reset you.
Yeah.
So if someone offers, take them up on it, get out of the house.
Yeah, and do things that make you feel like you.
Yeah, exactly.
Turn the music up loud, eat chocolate in the car when no one's watching.
We know that the first 6 to 8 weeks in particular are quite challenging. So what is your top survival tip? Minky, you first.
It's okay that you don't know what you're doing, okay? Be kind and accept that you will at some point be an amazing mom and an amazing partner, and you will get there. So it's time. Don't put too much pressure on yourself, and just put up your hand if you need help, doesn't matter where.
Dawn?
My top tip for the first 6 to 8 weeks is just be prepared that it's going to be tough. It's probably the hardest, most challenging time that you're going to have with your baby. So if people make comments and they're trying to be helpful, realize that it's more about them than you. Don't take it to heart. Let it roll off your back and know that it will end. I know when you're in it, it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you're going to be stuck in that stage forever, but it will pass. And suddenly you'll look back and go, oh my gosh, that went by so fast. I promise.
Yeah. I think a sense of humour is really important, and to, you know, not take it too seriously. I know that it's like a tricky time in your life, but you can do this. You've got the skills to do it, and you know, people have done it again and again. I went back 3 times. Half the chances are that you can't remember those 6 weeks anyway. So just
You'll forget.
Just forget. Yeah, you'll forget.
You're
It'll be
so
fine.
tired it just fades.
Yeah, and we go back and do it
Yeah,
again.
we do it again.
And again.
Look,
so it mustn't be
seriously.
that bad. It's
Yeah.
going to be good.